Why did they not present it during plenary debates in the House of Representatives and in the Senate? Assuming they still forgot, why did they not write the letter during the time of the HGAB? Assuming they forgot again, why did they not give it way before the BICAM? Mr. Chair, ito na po ang aking pinupuntos. Hindi lang po ngayon, mula pa nung ako'y nag-chair 10 years ago. Bakit ba tayo mga Pilipino palaging afterthought? Palaging pahabol? Palaging last minute? Kasi hindi naman to bagong proyekto. Naniniwala po ko, at don't get me wrong, I will support it at wala namang karagdagang hinihingi. Pero inaayos lang ni budget. Hindi ba nila inayos mula nung inisip nila? The good secretary I know has been in the department for a long time. Career yan eh. So, hindi pwedeng masabi dahil bago. Eh, nandyan naman sila. At bago siya, si Sec Vince Dizon. Siguro naman nag-usap sila tungkol sa kanilang NEP. I put that on the table, Mr. Chair, while supporting your motion to adopt it. I'll repeat. Let it be a lesson to those doing their budgets, whether you're a big department or a small bureau or commission. You present it to DBM. You think about it for 1 year. Pagkatapos po ng Kapaskuhan New Year, gagawa na naman sila ng NEP ng 2027, all agencies up to March. Please think. Please plan. Don't come to us in December for something that is so essential and basic. So, it's an afterthought, even if it's urgent and basic. I have to put that on record. Pasensya na po. Thank you.
Senator Amy.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Recognize Senator Amy first.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Kahapon pinuna ko na po ito dahil tama ba yung pagkaintindi ko, binawasan na ng halos kalahati ang Metro Manila Subway at yung ganon din yung North-South Commuter Railway dahil sang-ayon naman tayo na napakababa ng performance. Pero ito ang inaasam-asam ng ating mga sumasakay ng iba't ibang public transport na sa wakas magkakaroon tayo ng subway system. Ang pagkaintindi ko ba, babawasan pa lalo itong dalawang to. So we are decreasing further reductions of 1.8 and 1.8 din sa bawat isa. Is that the understanding? So from 25 billion Metro Manila Subway and 37 or 38 billion of the North-South, may bawas pa ng 1.8 kada isa. Paliit na lang ng paliit to. Paano yan? Palaki ng palaki yung commitment fees natin at yung reputational damage natin talagang insurmountable na. So babawasan pa to lalo. Foreign funded to, nakakaya to. Balasubas na yung Pilipinas, Diyos ko.
I'm on the phone with Secretary Banoy to clarify the queries of Senator Legarda and Senator Marcos. So with tinanong ko po exactly how Sen. Lauren asked it as to why it was not there in the NEP and it hasn't been brought up either during the House deliberations or the Senate deliberations. What happened po is that both of these, the AFCS project as well as the common station, were supposed to be under two different PPPs to be supposedly managed by the LRMC. They were waiting for the LRMC to take care of all the documentations, all the requirements for the PPP to push through in the year 2026. Up until this point, hindi pa po nagsasubmit yung LRMC. So given the criticality,
LRMC.
what's LRMC?
It says something, abbreviates it. He better explain. Light Rail Transit Extension. should call out the head of that LRMC. I mean, we cannot be hostage by people who are not doing their job on time. I mean, ugali.
The LRMC po is the Light Railway Management Corporation.
That's under him.
Management Corporation.
Head niya. At saka pag may deadline, niya yung deadline. Ganun lang. Forever. Kasi kung papayagan natin sila, lahat na lang ng ahensya pwede mag-internal realignment.
This one po, Sen. Lauren, the LRMC is a private corporation. So this is the private group that the OTR was supposed to work with.
He should have made deadlines.
Actually, in fairness to the department, nasa tier 2 siya. Nakalagay ho siya sa tier 2, but hindi ho natanggap because of fiscal space. However, you're right, Senator Lauren, being a veteran in the Committee on Finance, na merong opportunities, no? Many opportunities to submit. Correct. So, nakakaano talaga. But then again, when we were evaluating the projects, lalo na yung automated fare collection system, ito napakahalaga dahil ngayon yung ating fare collection system ay merong manual, merong yung old technology. So they wanna move forward with the new technology, parang sa Hong Kong or sa Bangkok na tinatap nilang pwedeng gamitin credit card. So that's the essence. So that's why when we were evaluating this, nakita namin na maganda naman yung kanilang proposal. As to the yung query ni Senator Amy, pagdating kasi sa dito sa okay. Meron pa ho, let's say dito po sa North-South Commuter Railway, meron pa ho silang approximately 30 billion pesos sa continuing appropriations ho nila. Kaya malaki-laki pa ho. Pagdating ho dito sa Metro Manila Subway Project, meron pa ho silang 10 billion pesos na naka-allocate. So that's why I think because nung in-evaluate ho nila yung kanilang utilization rate as well as the importance of the other projects, nag-realign ho sila nung kanilang budget. So dahil meron pa hong natitirang 10 billion and also close to about 30 billion no dito sa kanilang about mga projects ho nila.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Senator Erwin.
it's just a point of suggestion lang. Siguro, BICAM po ito di ba? We're trying to reconcile between the House, the GAB, and ours. And this is not the time wherein we insert a budget like this. May panahon, Mr. Chair, na sa NEP and then sa House Committee, sa atin, sa committee natin. Bakit dito? Problema dito, Mr. Chair, baka naman maging kaugalian na ito in the future. Every time magba-BICAM, ay pahabol natin kasi okay lang pala dahil yung unang BICAM nila na nag-live, nahabol naman ng LRT. Baka every year na lang, pag hindi nila nailagay sa NEP, nakalimutan nila sa committee level, hahabulin nila sa BICAM. This should be, we have to set rules here, Mr. Chair, kasi baka maging kaugalian na ito in the near future, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, precisely that was in tier 2, except that the documents were not ready at the time of the hearings of both the House and the Senate. But then we have a request from our Secretary Banoy Lopez, that we give this to them. It is much needed, explained by the two chairperson. So they were not remiss in putting it there, but it was tier 2. And the problem with tier 2, almost always, they are really not included in our provision of the budget. So I move for approval for this, Mr. Chairman.
Just the query of Senator Irwin, just before I move on that motion. Tama ho kayo, Senator Irwin, no? That's why we are putting this to the body para makita rin ho natin yung mga request ng mga agencies. Dahil in fairness to them, along the way, no, may mga bagay rin silang nakikita na dapat pondohan o dapat hindi na pondohan o dapat ilipat po sa mas maimportanteng mga proyekto along the way because sinasubmit na ho nila ito sa around July. No? So may mga after July, may mga bagay sila ho nakikita na kailangan ho nilang pondohan para magamit na ho immediately. So that's why actually the letter is an appeal letter to us. If we will accept their appeal to realign these amounts so that they can operate much better and also execute new projects such as the automated fare collections
Mr. Chair.
next year.
Just want to add, because I came from the executive also as a secretary of a department back then. Pag sinabihan po kami na we have to prepare for the NEP, we inform agencies under us. Eh, hindi po ba nagawa nila ito? I mean, like LRMC, under naman po sa kanila yan. They could have asked LRMC, what are your requirements? What do you need? Bakit ngayon pa po they will have to come up here? I mean, and then state us like, oops, nakalimutan namin. Oops, nasa tier 2. Binibigyan naman sila July, August, September, October, November, December. I mean, after 5 months, Mr. Chair. That's what I'm trying to point out, Mr. Chair.
If I may respond po, from what I understand po, what happened was it was in tier 2. It was not funded by DBM because I think DBM mostly funds tier 1. They were fine with keeping it in tier 2 because they thought that the PPP was going to materialize. And then eventually, when they realized that the PPP was not going to materialize, at saka po nila linaban ngayon kasi otherwise po it will be detrimental to our commuters and to the interoperability of the different MRT stations. So siguro po sa amin po the stand po of myself and Chair Win, as much as possible ayaw po talaga namin mag-entertain ng ganito. They've had 6 months since the NEP was almost 6 months since they submitted the NEP last August 13. So I agree po. I very much agree. We wouldn't have said yes to this or even entertained this if these two were not critical projects. Medyo hindi po kasi lang talaga maganda yung consequences kung hindi po natuloy yung common station at saka yung beep cards. Kaya lang naman po namin in-entertain. Thank you po.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Senator Kiko.
Yes, well, I share the concern of Senator Erwin Tulfo, and therefore, perhaps moving forward, and for the guidance of future BICAMs, do we take this as precedent setting, that in future BICAMs, we will accommodate matters that should have been raised at the committee levels in the House or in the Senate? I think that should be put on record, so that because if I may, as we act on this particular request of this particular agency, this should not be a precedent, should not be considered or set a precedent for future bicameral conferences, conference committees, and for future budget deliberations. That in the last moment, in the last 5 meters of a 10,000 meter run, somebody will step in and say, can you include this and approve this? So hopefully, for the guidance of future bicameral conference committee meetings, while we will support the position of our chair, this should not be considered or as precedent setting, and that future budget requests of this nature should not point to this decision of the bicameral conference committee as precedent.
Thank you, Senator Kiko. Senator Erwin?
Well, I support, Mr. Chair. I mean, both chairpersons, their point. I support If it's a necessity, why not? Di ba? Kailangan po talagang gawin ito, yung Cavite Extension, lagyan ng pondo, automated fare collection system, para isa na lang. Di ba? I really do support. Pero my point here, Mr. Chair, is that BICAM is to reconcile the conflicting provisions of the House and the Senate versions of the bill. Hindi po part ng conflicting provisions. So yun lang po sinasabi ko. But I do support, Mr. Chair. I rest my case, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Erwin, and thank you, Senator Kiko, for those intervention. Sa totoo lang ho, ang dami ho naming nakukuhang pahabol. Si Senator Lauren, in fact, mentioned a few items. Ibang department. Diba, Ched, I think, also texted you? Sa akin, meron din ho. Kami ni Chair Mika, ang dami hong mga pahabol request. But ako will approach this on a case-to-case basis depending on the urgency and the importance of the request. Dahil ho dito, common station, automated fare collection, beep card. After analyzing and consulting with the department, we saw that this is important to make our public transportation system seamless, no? Kasi meron siyang intermodal capability. But yung mga others, yung mga pahabol, hindi na ho namin pinesent dito po sa body. No? So with that, we have a motion from from Congressman Rufus.
Second.
Julie seconded. The proposal is deemed approved.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Kiko.
Well, it was already raised earlier that there were several requests. I would just want to place this on record that after we approved the budget of the Department of Agriculture, that evening, December 15, when did we approve the DA budget? December 13, the BICAM approved the DA budget. On December 15, the DA secretary wrote to the chairperson submitting a list of farm-to-market road projects with coordinates amounting to the same amount that we approved, 33 billion, except that 8.9 billion worth of projects were introduced as in the December 15 letter, which was not in the list of projects that we approved on December 13. How do we act on that?
Chair. Mr. Chair, at the end of the day, I will support my chair. But let me please put this on record. Just like I spoke last night and now about the OTR, it's the same issue with the Department of Agriculture. If the more than 8 billion pesos worth of farm-to-market roads were indeed essential in serving our farmers in the hinterlands, why was it not included in the NEP or even in the HGAB? Even if you say that there are coordinates, why did they swap? So I would like to know what were the more than 8 billion pesos worth of FMRs that are deleted now from the HGAB and the Senate version that we are reviewing in the BICAM. Sino po ang mga magsasaka na maaapektuhan sa matatanggal na FMR dahil pinalitan ng DA ang kanilang listahan ng farm-to-market road? I don't understand. So ano mangyayari po sa farm-to-market roads na sinumite ng DA, na inaprubahan ng HGAB, na inaprubahan po natin, tapos papalitan dahil sa isang sulat? So I would just like to make it clear that these are not Senate-introduced FMRs. We did not introduce or submit a list to the Secretary, just to be fair, okay? Insofar the Senate is concerned, we understand and support the House amendments for farm-to-market roads in specific rural districts, and that is both needed And as long as there are coordinates and not just a lump sum, that is supported. But suddenly there's a change. And as I said, I spoke to Secretary Laurel on Sunday morning because I was confused with the 16B NEP and the another 16B HGAB. And he said, I don't know if I should say it here. Okay, he said something. I will tell you later. Then I'm surprised that he's sending another letter now for another 8 billion. So I would like to know, I have to be enlightened, Mr. Chair. Why is there suddenly, within 3 days of that conversation, there's a change of heart or a change of mind of farm-to-market roads worth 8 billion? Ano po ang mangyayari sa tinanggal niyang 8 billion? At anong nangyari sa ating kanayunan na kailangan bigla ng 8 billion na ito? So may switching. May switching, may swap. So yung tinanggal po na 8 billion, malay ko kung saan yun, saan po ilalagay? Sa NEP ng 2027? Ito pong bagong 8 billion, saan po nanggaling yan? Anong mga distrito, probinsya, bundok, kanayunan, saan? Please enlighten this representation. I'm not trying to interpolate my colleague because I did not receive the letter. I just want to understand, please. Again, if we will make this a habit, then every agency will change internal realization. Oh, pareho naman ng level eh. Papalitan na namin ng laman. Ano tayo, halo-halong kalamay? Ang BICAM, nangyayari ba sa akin noon? Ay, hindi ko tatanggap ng ganyan. Last minute? So, maybe you can, what is that agricultural emergency that the DA will have to change 8 billion worth of FMRs? I want to know and understand. I'm not angry at the vice chair or the chair of Agri. I'm just passionate when there's something I do not understand and I need to comprehend it, Mr. Chair. In the end, I will support my chair.
If I may place on record, this request has not been acted on. So we continue to, well, at least for the Senate, we are standing by the previous list that we approved on December 13. Now, if unless there are members of the bicameral conference committee who disagree, I think we should stick with the December 13.
Mr. Chair,
And for the record, the December 13 list has coordinates. The 33 billion peso December 13 list. We approved it with the coordinates. And the 8.9 likewise has coordinates, but they're a different set of projects from that which we approved on December 13. In other words, they are removing 8.9 billion pesos worth of projects that we approved with coordinates and replacing them with 8.9 billion worth of new or different projects also with coordinates.
Alam ko sasabihin po nila, pareho naman yung level. Pero again, kung pinayagan natin sa DOTR, sa DA, what will stop other agencies? Change na lang yung listahan ng classroom sa DepEd. Change na lang yung ibang mga highway at multipurpose sa DPWH. Palitan na lang lahat ng irigasyon sa NIA. Tanggalin na lang. These lapses will affect the planning of projects that are, we're so diligent in our responsibility to plan, to submit requirements. Tapos isang sulat lang, palit. I think you have, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. Okay, hindi ako yung chair. Ano yung dahilan? May dahilan. If it's a national security issue, yes. If it's so important, yes, I want to understand. Gusto ko lang maintindihan. So there's something he knows that we don't know.
May I venture a guess based on, well,
Not guess.
no, it's not a
because
guess.
BICAM is
No, no,
not a
let me
guessing
finish, ma'am.
game.
May I venture a guess based on the letter that he sent to us and the reason that he gave? Part of the reason that he gave was, please be informed that the earlier submission was made without the approval of the Secretary of Agriculture, as the undersigned was on official medical leave at that time. So, and this is where my guess comes in. No, this is where my intelligent guess comes in. If I may be allowed to perhaps try to understand what happened here. This is the first time we have asked for coordinates. We've never asked for coordinates before. In previous budgets, it has always been lump sum. So it is possible that because this is the first time that this is being requested, then therefore the preparation of these coordinates had to go through a process that somehow there were gaps. And that being the case, because of the gaps, they had to correct the submissions. That is my intelligent understanding. We've never asked for coordinates and an itemized list of projects in the past. This is the first time.
Mr. Chair, may I? Ang DPWH, months ago, sabi, overpriced. Bunuan budget yan. Overpriced. Ibaba. Paulit-ulit. Sa hearing, sa technical working group, sa media, even the president said the same thing. Our chair worked diligently with LBRMO, everyone, and DPWH, binaba. Ayon sa kanilang inputs at methodology, binaba. Inapprove natin. Sa BICAM, sabi, itaas. Kaya nga nagkaroon ng impasse for a while, pero nasolve natin sa CMPD. Thank you to the House for agreeing for a truthful, accurate budget. Salamat. Tapos, DOTR. Yan, may letter. Internal realignment. Sige na. Tapos, ang DA. Yung 8.9, hindi pala official transmission yan. Hindi pala inapprove ng secretary. We approved it. What does it make of us? It's not an official list. Now, this is the official list. So we better have rules. I think the bicameral committee has to have rules. When there are letters from the cabinet, that means letters given to the chair are not official transmission. We have to check. There should be maybe a watermark. So they're saying that these were not official transmissions because the secretary was on medical leave. Ano ibig sabihin yan? So, sino nagpadala? USEC niya? What was it? A fake list? And then the bicameral conference committee approved it? Hindi ganyan eh. Hindi, nangyayari ba yan nung 10 years ago? Hindi. Not as, walang ganyan. Hindi nangyayari yan noon. Hindi ganitong kagarapal. Ang pagpapalit-palit. Ibaba ang presyo. Sumunod. Ayon sa kanila. Itaas ang presyo. I-recompute. DPWH yan. DOTR, realignment, palit lang naman. DA, palitan. Hindi ako yun. Hindi kami yun. Walang coordinates yan. Or meron pero mali yung listahan. Yan ang sinabi ko. 3 na yan. O ilan pa? Baka maglapitan lahat ng ahensya ngayon. Pwede pala magpalit. Palitan namin lahat ng laman. Pareho naman ang level eh. Mr. President, I'm sorry. I have to express my disappointment and exasperation. There has to be some discipline in government. Diba sa eskwela tayo, pinag-aral tayo, finish or not finish, pass your paper. Pag nagraduhan na ng teacher, tama na, hindi pwedeng, magpalit, yung seatmate ko, mali. Ano tayo? How can we be a good example to people? Kung sa BICAM na, nagpapalit. Tama yung sinabi. Disagreeing provision, sabi ni Senator Erwin.
Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead, Sen.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, the Secretary is the head of agency. He's the alter ego of the President. He has the overall knowledge on how his department should go, especially on Farm to Market Road. And so therefore, when the Secretary recommends we have to give so much weight for that under the principle of regularity of function, that the secretary is regularly doing his job. And to the best of his knowledge and ability, that is the list that he believes should be implemented. So therefore, I support the new list because that comes after a good study by the secretary. He was on leave when that was given. Probably the NEP did not have the proper amounts and the proper coordinates, and there was none. Now there are coordinates, and he wants to correct it. He wants to have something that will be implementable. So I support Mr. Chairman, the new list of Secretary Kiko Laurel. Thank you.
If I may, Senwin, I'll just read part of the letter sent by Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel explaining the new list. After thorough consideration, the department has identified the final FMR projects that are critical in linking key production areas. These projects were selected based on their readiness for implementation, consistency with national and regional development priorities, and their projected contribution to enhancing agricultural productivity, minimizing post-harvest losses, and expanding market access for farmers in priority areas. Further, the department will be undertaking for the first time the direct implementation of farm-to-market road projects. Hence, the attached final list consists of projects that are operationally workable on the part of the department and conducive to timely and effective implementation. I'm not sure if this is the same letter that Sen Kiko has on hand, because also in the first paragraph, he explained that the undersigned was on official medical leave at the time that during the earlier submission so he says that please be informed that the earlier submission was undertaken without the approval of the Secretary of Agriculture, as the undersigned was on official medical leave at the time.
Actually, I was talking to Senator Lauren. Ang tanong niya kung nangyayari ho to nung mga unang panahon. Ang sagot ko, hindi ko alam dahil kayo-kayo lang nag-uusap eh. No, ngayon, I'm not saying you, but I'm saying in general, no? In general. I'm not saying you, Ma'am Lauren, no? I'm saying in general dahil this is the innovation that we introduced so that all of these things will be brought out to the body. Pag-usapan natin, pagdebatihan natin, we might not agree, we might find some solutions, pero ang importante ho dito, nalalaman ng lahat, no? Hindi lang sa ilan-ilan lang po ang nalalaman. In fact, dati ho kasi lalabas na lang po yung general appropriations bill, doon na lang natin nakikita kung ano yung mga projects na pumapasok at hindi pumapasok. Pero ito po ang kagandahan po ng open BICAM or ganitong proceedings para mapag-usapan ho natin.
That's why. Thank you for that, Chair. Totoo, nung panahon dati, 10 years ago, yung dalawang chair and El Beremo and the APRO staff. That's why I was asking Attorney Doblon 10 years ago, I can't recall, meron bang mga pahabol na ganyan? But she says, meron, pero pag na-discuss na yung department, tapos na. Or hindi ganyang kalalaki yung changes. But then, I appreciate the candor of the chair and his calmness in taking all this, but it's up to you whether to accept it or not. I said at the end, I will accept and support your decision. We just have to agree na wag masanay lahat ng ahensya na magpalit sa last minute. We have to change that attitude. Yeah. But I support you, Chair.
Mr. Chairman, with the permission of our colleagues, apparently, the letter read by Representative Swansing mentioned that please be informed that the earlier submission was made without the approval of the Secretary. This, as we were made to understand and relayed by the Department of Agriculture, the submission here was the NEP list of projects, NEP list of projects. And therefore, and what happened subsequently was that because it was submitted without the approval of the Secretary, the BAFE head was removed or was replaced. So that's the information that has been relayed to us. And therefore, they are now submitting this new list. What's important, I think, in the end, and again, I share the concern that these last-minute appeals should not be the norm. what's important here is that for the first time, the list has coordinates. This has never been done before, and therefore, the accountability and transparency objective is met. Of course, we have to continue to be vigilant, and that's why we have identified this information. We have also put forth a special provision on citizens' participatory audit, which means as the project is being implemented, the COA has a memorandum circular that provides for a program wherein citizens can participate in the audit. And we've also included that as a special provision in the implementation of the farm-to-market road projects. So again, the key here is there is transparency, there is accountability, there are coordinates that are now made available point to point, and there will be a special provision on citizens' participatory audit. So having said that, again, this should not be a precedent for future bicameral conference committee meetings, and we share the position of the chair that we will support the inclusion of this new list.
If I may, Senwin, so I agree with the statement of Senator Lauren and Senator Kiko. We also don't want this to be the norm. All of these last-minute requests from the Secretary should not be the norm, and we support that. Siguro po ang magkagandahan po dito, na-check na po kasi talaga isa-isa ng DA yung mga proyekto na ipapasok po natin sa budget sa 2026. As they explained it, they selected it based on their readiness for implementation, consistency with national and regional development priorities, and their projected contribution to enhancing agricultural productivity, minimizing post-harvest losses, and expanding market access for farmers in priority areas. So, bukod po sa masisigurado na mai-implement itong mga proyekto na ito dahil specific na po yung areas Kaya na po ding silipin ng ating mga kababayan, ng mga auditors, mga third party na gustong mag-check, identified po Bukod dun sa increased implementability ng mga projects, nasisigurado din po nito na na-identify na ng DA kung ano lang talaga yung pinaka-prioridad ng mga farm-to-market road. So, hindi na po yung mga lugar siguro na, di ba, mauuna na yung pinaka-connected doon po sa mga main thoroughfare. So, yun po siguro yun. Mas sigurado po na may implement yung mga programa at masisigurado din po na yung atin pong popondohan ay yung mga talagang pinaka-prioridad at pinaka-mahalaga ng mga farm-to-market roads. And again, I share the sentiments of our colleagues that this should not be the norm moving forward in the succeeding budget seasons.
Appreciate the concurrence of the House Chair, Kong Swan Singh. Let me just put on record, Mr. Chair, that when the GAA is signed and we have an oversight committee, I'd just like to see the comparison of the 8.9B as part of the 16B FMR in the NEP, which was unauthorized, but we're surprised, and that should not happen again when departments send us communication. Sabi nga ni Chair, binigay sa atin Malay naman NEP nga ito. Malay naman natin finar niya yung tao niya. The internal troubles of a department is not our problem. It becomes our problem now when we're informed 6 months later that it's not authorized. I mean, that's dangerous. So, and then we want to compare what was the unauthorized list and what is the new list. But again, I leave it to the chair of the Agri during our oversight by 2026. Thank you.
And just to manifest po, in terms of the completion of the list as of today, out of the 1,674 projects that comprise the 32 billion, 99.4% of the projects are already complete with all the coordinates and all the specific location. So, 10 lang po sa 1,674 na projects yung wala pang coordinate. So, yung sinubmit po nila na listahan, 99.4% na po yun ng 32 billion. Kompleto na, halos kompleto na po yung listahan na sinumite po ng DA para po dun sa 32 billion.
Sa akin lang naman, if the secretary is saying na hindi ito yung kanyang approved projects at pinaalis niya yung kanyang head no nung kanyang Bureau of Farm Equipment, mahirapan naman ho siyang i-implement yung projects na hindi niya na-evaluate o hindi niya ho nakita o hindi niya na-approve. So it's going to be very difficult for him, especially na wala na yung tao doon na nag-submit itong project. So if I put myself in the shoes of the secretary, tapos may mga projects doon na hindi ko na-approve, paano ko naman i-implement ho yung kung tingin ko ay hindi ho nararapat yung mga projects na yun. Mahirap rin for the secretary, no? Especially in the 2026, bago lahat yung kanyang mga pondo.
Yes, if I may add, apart from the two earlier special provisions of citizens participatory audit and what's the other one? No. We will have the online dashboard so that this will now be made available online. The DA has agreed to that. Very basic also in terms of the safeguard is we remove the farm to market road projects from the DPWH and place it under the DA. And we also identified possible modes of implementing the farm to market road projects to include local government partnerships as well as PPP or private public partnerships. When the local governments are involved, when private sector is involved, there is greater participation, there is greater transparency, and therefore greater accountability. So all these are part of the special provisions that we have put forth for the Senate version. And I understand when we approved it, because we already manifested this earlier, it has likewise been adopted by the bicameral conference, these special provisions.
Any more comments?
So move, Mr. Chair.
Second, the motion to adopt the new list that came from the Department of Agriculture, duly signed by the Secretary himself, Secretary Francisco Tura Laurel, is team approved. And in the interest of transparency, we will publish the amendments that were made in the website. So we will also upload the list of amendments that we approve during the bicameral conference committee. All right. So with that, we go to the departments or the agencies. So we'll go back to the regular programming.
Thank you.
So we now proceed with the Department of Tourism.
On the part of the House for the Department of Tourism, the amount reflected in the HGAP reflects the same amount as in the NEP, which is 3,651,214,000.
All right. The Department of Tourism, Office of the Secretary, 3.6 billion. Branding campaign, 1 billion pesos. General Management and Supervision, 699 million pesos. Tourism Planning, 644 million pesos. Any questions?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Senator.
Yes, a quick question. we all understand branding to mean a unique sign, a symbol, a logo, perhaps a message, a slogan, a promise, a unique value proposition. This is done once in the conceptualization of a brand and the launching of such. Itong Love Philippines, nalunsad ito nung Hunyo pa ng 2023. Bakit taon-taon magre-rebrand na naman ba yan? Bakit taon-taon binibigyan natin ng pera na napakalaki, kalahating bilyon? Dinoble pa ng Senado ng 1 bilyon. Babaguhin na naman ba yan? Nakailang bago na yan? 2023 pa yan, 2024, 2025, 2026. I-rebrand na naman ba yan? Bakit? At ang baba-baba naman ng performance natin. Hindi pa tayo nakaka-recover mula 2019. Ba't ba natin pinabago-bago kada taon? Hindi ko maintindihan itong gastusing to.
I'll answer our colleague. The chair and I were there in our meeting, and we always said that it's not just the Department of Tourism that must promote tourism. It must be a whole of government approach, meaning security, facilities, when you land in the airport, so it's
Yes.
etc. Then
Yes, given, but the exercise of branding is a very specific
I'm getting there.
promotional and
Yes.
advertising
Yes.
effort.
thank you.
And it
Let me
need not
finish.
be repeated year
Yes.
on year.
Okay. There was an allocation in the House. I think that's 500 M. Yes. And that was in the NEP, and the House allowed it. And according to the Secretary, that 500 is really not sufficient. Branding is not just a slogan. It is the overall communications, which would also include, I believe, the payment of airtime in specific programs globally, internationally. And other countries have 10 times more of their budgets for branding. So this is not just a communications plan with the slogan of Love the Philippines. It would also mean write-ups, articles, social media, and shows internationally. Yes, and roadshows, promotions. So as a great believer in marketing and communications, the chair and I felt it was important to support the Department of Tourism. For after all, their contribution to GDP is a big amount. I think more than 10% GDP. Especially now that we are challenged in terms of our image abroad, in terms of scandals that have rocked government, and we really wanted to support the DOT. So that is the basis. I did not, to be fair, I did not do it unilaterally. I consulted the chair, and it was actually a commitment of the chair, which I appreciate. I did not do it as an individual amendment. It was a committee amendment in due consultation with the chair. Thank you.
Yes, pinagtatakahan ko lamang dahil nakita natin na talagang bumabagsak ang turismo, may decrease ng 2.16%. So hindi ito mahahabol tulad ng sinabi ninyo dahil sa branding lamang. Hindi advertising ang problema. Sang-ayon po ako sa inyo at ang kinakailangan gawin ay isaayos ang intermodal transport, gawing mas mura ang pagbabiyahe at paglalakbay at higit sa lahat yung peace and order and corruption scandals hindi nakakatulong sa Pilipinas. Pero itong gastos ng gastos para sa branding, paulit-ulit, hindi naman yata tama rin. Kasi napakaraming nangangailangan ng tulong sa ating bansa, mula sa magsasaka, sa mahihirap, sa urban poor, hanggang sa senior citizen. Bakit natin pinag-aaksayahan ng panahon ito, samantalang hindi pa nasasaayos ang intermodal transport sa ating mga isla at hindi rin ume-epekto to, pabagsak ng pabagsak. Kaya para sa akin, hindi ito magandang investment.
I agree, and we take note of the comments of the good senator from Ilocos. I wish you had joined us in the hearing as well, but this is something we supported for DOT, and we approved it in the committee report as well. So I leave it to the body. Thank you.
Well, I am a firm believer of tourism. For me, low-hanging fruit ang tourism sa atin. Tama ho kayo, Senator Amy, na naging very challenging ang tourism sa atin, lalong-lalo na nawala yung Chinese market sa atin. So more so, we should explore other markets. We should market our country or even directly the islands to the different areas. So that's why nung nag-hearing ho kami, isa sa mga strategy po ng Department of Tourism is to look for other markets. That's why they needed extra funding to explore other markets and to attract other tourists to compensate for the slowdown in the Chinese market. No? So yan po yung rationale kaya po tayo nagdagdag ng pondo sa kanila. At ang multiplier effect is not only Metro Manila but to the countryside, no? Sa Camiguin, lalong-lalo na may airport na ho sila, nakulang yata ang pondo pero nadagdagan na.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Negros
Thank you, Your
Occidental, sa Cagayan de Oro, sa Samar, sa Ilocos Sur, ang dami nating mga magagandang sites. But we need to market it kasi hindi alam ng mga kababayan ho natin. Hindi alam ng mga turista, hindi rin alam minsan ng mga kababayan natin na kung gaano kagaganda. Palawan is voted one of the best islands in the whole world. So isa yan sa mga dapat ho nating i-market outside of the Philippines. So that's why we deemed it appropriate to just increase their budget by a fraction so that they can improve their reach.
Alala ko during our hearing, pinaalala sa amin na 8.9% nga ng GDP ay galing diretso sa tourism and 13.8% of our total population are directly employed through tourism. Pag indirect pa ay halos 30% ng ating populasyon ay nagatrabaho, apektado sa tourism. Tour guide, driver, cook, tagalinis, ang dami talaga. So, this is the low-hanging fruit. We're not a manufacturing giant. Agriculture is suffering due to climate adversity. Tourism is there. Anumang sulok ng kapuluan sa sa northern Palawan, sa Camiguin na isla, sa Bacolod City at sa Slow Food Network, sa Bataan na Montemar, for example, or sa Acuzar area. So Nueva Ecija, magagandang maraming areas. Sa Ilocos region, kay Kong Mihan, Vegan Ivan Candon. Syempre, si Cagayan de Oro at Northern Bukidnon, kila Migs at kila Rufus. Sa Samar, napakagrami dyan mga caves, magaganda at mga beach areas. At pati naman sa Valenzuela, maganda. Ano mapupuntahan sa inyo? Yung museo ninyo.
Maraming salamat.
O sa amin sa Antique. So, kailangan ng, kasi how can you visit something that you don't know exists? So, kailangan ng promotion, kailangan ng kaalaman. Yun. And
Akin
don't
lang po.
worry, itong 500 million, napakalaking pondo ito. Kaya nga, i-convene natin yung oversight natin para malaman natin saan napunta at ika-quantify natin yung impact nito sa trabaho. Thank you.
Yes, tanggap ko po lahat yon. Subalit sa kabila nito, maliwanag na yung domestic tourism ay tumataas, bagsak na bagsak ang ating foreign tourism. Kaya para sa akin, bakit tayo gumagastos sa CNN at iba't iba pang napakamamahal na mga outlet samantalang hindi naman nagsisipunta ang mga taga ron hanggang hindi natin maisaayos ang ating peace and order, ang infrastructure and intermodal transport. Napakamahal umikot sa Pilipinas pag hinambing mo sa Vietnam, sa Thailand at iba pang lugar. Unahin po natin ang kinakailangan, hindi yung walang tigil ng paggagastos ng advertising sa mga outlet ng mga dayuhan na hindi naman interesado pumunta rito dahil natatakot pa rin. Yun lang po. First things first.
May puntos at naniniwala po ako sa sinasabi nyo, dapat ayusin natin ang bahay natin bago tayo mag-imbita. But in the meantime na inaayos, kailangan din pinopromote natin. At nawala nga sa atin ang Japanese market, sayang. Kailangan i-attract natin. At maraming mga untapped markets, including the European market. That's why we need branding and promotions and all of the marketing and promotional
Kung
requirements.
ganon, dapat maintenance level lang hanggat hindi pa naaayos ang mga kinakailangan ayusan. Dapat maintenance level lang, ibig sabihin yung net na nasa 500 million. Bakit idodoble na hindi pa naman handa ang ating mga tourism destinations? Sa totoo lang.
Actually, if you, I'm looking at research about PowerPoint pala ito ng Department of Tourism. Ang marketing budget ng Thailand is $167 million. Ang Malaysia is $262 million. And Singapore is $431 million. Tayo is $52 million. So even in around ASEAN, malayong-malayo po yung ating marketing budget. And we all know that Thailand receives close to about 50 million tourists. No? So
Yes, precisely, Mr. Chair. At the rate they're receiving tourists, sa cost per head, ang layo naman kasi natin. Yun lang, yung ating cost per head, napakalayo naman talaga at wala namang resultang pumapasok na ganong kadami dito.
Madam Chair, Mr. Chairman. Yes, good that we're talking about tourism because Secretary Frasco recently published the roadmap for tourism in our Muslim areas. Yan nakalimutan natin. Now we thought that the Muslim areas there is no peace and order, and there are no historical sites nor culinary products. The recent publication of Secretary Frasco would now give a roadmap of where to go in our Muslim provinces and cities, and they are peaceful. There's relative peace in Mindanao. And so this is an area sector which has quite been it has been neglected for some time, Mr. Chairman. But now we are opening up the historic sites in our Muslim areas and the culinary delights in this area. So we congratulate Secretary Frasco. Now this branding, we do not have a change of new brand. This is an expansion of the drive and the campaign to get more tourists here in the Philippines. And we hope that with Secretary Frasco, we can have more tourists to Mindanao, and not only Mindanao, like again, de Oro, as mentioned by Senator Lugarda, we have our whitewater rafting, the best in Asia, but also especially in our Muslim areas, which are now open to tourism, providing jobs and income to our Muslim brothers and sisters. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
thank you. With that, I failed to mention the budgets of the other sub-agencies of Department of Tourism. The Intramuros Administration, 101 million pesos. Under it is Tourism, Marketing and Promotions, 10.7 million pesos. Parks and Development Committee, 316 million pesos. Subsumed under it is Satellite Parks, 172 million pesos. So,
This is 101, this is 161.
sorry, in Intramuros,
There's 101.
it's 161, not 101. I think I made a mistake. So, with that, any motion or any
Approved. Mr.
Move to
Chairman.
approve.
duly seconded, the budget of the Department of Tourism is hereby approved. And I appreciate the comments of Senator Amy Marcos. Those are very valid points. And we will request the standing committee on tourism to come up with a hearing looking at the holistic picture of our tourism industry. So with that, we go to the Department of Trade and Industry. This is the subcommittee chaired by Senator Amy Marcos.
On the part of the House, for the Department of Trade and Industry, the HGAB amount reflects the same amount as in the NEP, which is 9,604,643,000.
Madam Chair. Okay.
All right, for the Office of the Secretary, 7.3 million pesos, billion pesos. Implementation of the MSME Development Plan and other initiatives to promote the growth of MSME, 805 million pesos. Shared Services Facility, 569 million pesos. development, facilitation and promotion of exports and investment, domestic and foreign, 959 million pesos. Formulation of strategic plans, programs, and policies to develop competitive industries, 827 million pesos. Monitoring and enforcement of FTL, including consumer complaints handling, 388 million pesos. General management and supervision, 2.2 billion pesos. Pangkabuhayan sa pagbangon at ginhawa, 80 million pesos. Board of Investment, 565 million pesos. Cooperative Development Authority, 1.2 billion pesos. General Management and Supervision, 469 million pesos. Formulation of plans and programs including monitoring and evaluation, maintenance of management information system and quality management system, 36 million pesos. Registration of cooperatives and amendments, tama ba? 49.9 million pesos. Regulation of cooperatives, formulation of guidelines, rules and regulations, 103 million pesos. Case prevention, investigation, prosecution, adjudication, and enforcement, 57 million pesos. Cooperative Development Program, provision of technical assistance on cooperative development, research, communication, and advocacy, standard setting and accreditation, awards and recognition, and documentation of best practices, capability building program for cooperatives and project development assistance, 566 million pesos.